Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, and in this video we're doing a 1-hour crash course in Go programming language. Hope you enjoy, and please subscribe if you're not already.
Hello everybody, welcome to our big course Google Go Programming from Golang Beginner to Web Development in Go by Shazib Kamal. In this big course, we are starting from the very basic of the Go language. You even do not need to know any language, any prior experience required at all. You do not need to be a programmer of any language or even Go language. We would be starting from the very basic. We're gonna discuss how we can set up the Go language, the environment setup in our system. Then we would talk about the basic syntaxes of the programming languages and which syntax works with the Go language. This is the very beginning things we're going to discuss in the course. Then we would talk about the data types, the variables, the functions, the how we can make our program decisionable, understanding how we can make the loops and the duplications, then major structures and interfaces, functions, etc. All of the basic things we're going to cover. Then with those basic things, we're going to make a program. We are going to make multiple programs anyway. Then once we understand how to program in the Go language with the terminal, we would start talking about the web development. In the web development section, you even do not need to know the basics of the web development because we're going to cover that. If you know that, that's good, but we're going to discuss the basic aspects of the web development like HTML, the CSS, the Bootstrap. Because in a web development section of the Go language, we're going to use the Bootstrap, HTML and CSS in our programming to develop the front-end Go language to make a complete website. So we would discuss those basic things. So if you do not know anything of the web development, this course is absolutely for you to become a front-end developer, the complete front-end developer. We would discuss the templating in the Go language. We would discuss the rules of templating. We would discuss about the servers, how to upload the created package, even how to make a package and how to upload the package over the servers, understanding the HTTP and understanding the databases. Absolutely, we're gonna play with the databases too. In other words, if you do not know anything of the front-end development and you want to become a Go language expert to develop the complete front-end, so this course is absolutely for you. So meet you in the next lecture of the course. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the series where you're learning Go programming language. So in this video we will talk how we will set up Go language in our system. So first of all, we need to go to the golang.org website. You can see that the Golang programming language, the golang.org, and then you can easily see this big button, download Go. You need to click on that button, and once you click on that button, you will have the options, the stable versions or the featured downloads. So you can find any of the download from here too. There are a lot of download options, but I'm just gonna go to these one of these four. So you can see that the Microsoft Windows, Apple, and Mac OS, Linux, or the source. So because I'm gonna teach you using the Microsoft Windows, so I'm gonna use this one. But if you have these systems, you can use any of the system anyway. I'm clicking here, Microsoft Windows. Okay, now your download should begin shortly. If it does not, click this link, but I do not need to click on that link because it is actually working fine here. It's getting downloaded. Now you can see that it is downloaded here. I just need to click on this one and it's opening. Then the Google LLC, which is actually a verification that it is coming from the Google sources, so all good. I need to run on that. It's asking me what I just want to do. I just want to install this setup. So now click on the next button. Now absolutely we have to accept the terms. Now the next button again. Now it's asking for the place where I just want to install the location. I'm just clicking on the next button. Now it's simply asking me to install it. I click there. Now it's processing. Yes, now it's validating the install, and it will take a few minutes to install the Go language in our system. It is pretty easy. Many different languages we often use. We have to use the npm or different kind of package managers. For PHP there is a different manager like Composer. For JavaScript technologies we use npm, but this one is simply the installer of the the simple exe installer, nothing more complex. So you just need to click on the next button and install button, and there you need to click on the finish button, and it is in your system. Now this actually have done a lot of things. You can see that when you install it, the Windows MSI installer. So this is how you need to install it. Open the MSI files and follow the prompts to install the Go tools. But the interesting thing is the installer should put the cgo bin directory in your path environment variable. You may need to restart any open command prompts for the change to take effect. Setting environment variables under window. If you actually want to set up the environment variables, you can choose these options, but this is not the point by now because we already did that using the Go installer. Now all we need to verify if it is actually working fine, so we need to make a script in the Go language by now. So I'm going there and I'm actually inside a folder which name is Golang. I'm making a new file here, and inside this file I'm just gonna save it like this, and the name should be like test.go. okay, the format should be test.go. I mean, you can add, instead of test, you can put index, you can put the home, you can put the anything like that, but the extension must be .go, and then click on the save button. Now there is the file. Now I'm gonna put some commands you may don't understand by now, but you need to be patient because I will be teaching what I'm doing. Package main line break import fmt line break func main parentheses and the curly braces and the fmt dot parent ln, and here I'm going to type something like hello world. Okay, I have written something like I have made a function here. First of all, I just loaded a package, then I imported fmt from that package, then I ran a function here. I called the function here. I'm gonna run that function, so where I'm gonna run that function, I'm gonna run that function in the PowerShell. So there is a PowerShell. First of all, I need to write go, then run, then test.go. okay, before doing anything, you need to make sure that your PowerShell is actually located in a position where your file is. Like you can see that the tutorials Jerry Banfield Golang, and there is a test.go. This file is actually in exact location where I just opened my PowerShell. You can see that the address of the file, the Jerry Banfield Golang and /test.go. So I opened the PowerShell in the Golang folder. You can see that. So here I need to now press the line break, the enter key, and now there hello world is visible here. That means this script is working. That means we just have set up the Go language in our system. So in the next video we will talk about some more different things of the Go language. Till then, stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're gonna download and install the Go compiler. Without the compiler, we can write code on Go language, but we cannot run that. So we cannot testify that if our code is okay or no. So all we need is to go to there, the download Go button, click on this button, And now you're gonna see the page, the golang.org/dl. In the official Golang website, you can see that the downloads heading and then the feature downloads and stable versions. We absolutely need nothing to do with the stable versions because we are actually going to use the feature download ones. You can use the Microsoft Windows if you're using the Windows, or if you're going with the Apple, Mac OS, or the Linux. So according to your system, download any of these, like I'm downloading this one. And now, okay, it is asking me to confirm if this download is suitable for my system. And I click there, and now it's downloading in my system, which can take hardly 1 minute. So there are some different settings that what you need to do, but the good thing is you actually do not need to do many of the things because as you can see that open the MSI file and follow the prompts to install the Go tools. By default, the installer puts the Go distribution in the C Go, and the installer should put the directory in your path environment variable. Actually, whenever you install or set up any program, you have to set up them in the path environment variables, but Go did it itself if you go with the download installer. So anyway, so all we need is to wait a few more seconds, then we would be able to download that, install that. Anyway, so it may be useful to have multiple Go versions installed on the same machine to ensure that a package test pass on multiple Go versions. Once you have Go version installed, you can install the another one, but we do not need that. This is actually extra thing for us. I'm clicking on this file and all I need is to run it. Now the setup is now asking me to click on the next button. Now all I need is to accept the terms of the license agreement, and I need to select the destination, the C/Go, and click on the next button again, and absolutely the install button. Now all we can do is to wait a few minutes. Once it completes the installation, then we would be able to testify if the Go programming language is successfully installed in our system. So after the verification, we are absolutely go to the next lesson to actually understand the Go language methods and to work something on the Go language. So it can take a few minutes. Okay, now here is a finish button. I need to click on the finish button. Now I have installed. Now here is the code editor. As you know, we are using the VSC, Visual Studio Code, for the Go language. So first of all, we need to make a new file in any directory you can choose in your system. I made the directory name as Go, and the file name I'm writing as index.go, and just go here. Okay, now first of all, we are gonna write a program. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing because it is a little detailed things, but we'll talk about them later. Just do that what I'm doing by now. The package main, the import fmt, we are actually importing something in our program. Then func, it is a function. If you know some JavaScript or basic other functional languages, so you may know about this, but this is something new. fmt.println. We'll absolutely gonna talk about these things later, but not by now. Now, hello world, the most famous sentence for the programmers is this one, hello world. Now, okay, we have written something here in a document. Now, how to testify this? I need to go there. I need to click on the terminal, and in the terminal, all I need is to test this file. Okay, we are actually in the specific folder, the Go folder. That means we are inside this Go folder. No, all we need is to type the file name, but before that we need to run the command, the go space run space now the file name, which is index.go. Line break. Now the Avast is actually testing the file. Good thing anyway. Okay, now you can see that the hello world is there. Go run index.go hello world. Now you can see that the hello world is visible. That means the Go language is successfully installed in our system. So in the next video, we will talk about all these things later. Stay tuned. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about this structure we just wrote in a last video. The very first thing is a package main. So what is this thing? The package main is actually the name of the package which actually gonna run the whole program. That means without this package, this program is not gonna run. We need to know that the Go language works on the packages. The packages are the base of the Go language. So if you have added the package main, so now because of this package, we're gonna actually get the result of all these lines. The second line you can see is fmt is a preprocessor command which actually gets data or imports data of fmt from this package main, the main package. So first we attached the package main, then we picked some data from this main package, and what the data we picked, we imported the fmt. Then after that, if you ever heard of the functions, or maybe you are from the JavaScript background or any functional language background, so this is a function. Interestingly, you do not need to call the function as generally in JavaScript. If you know some previous, you have experience with any programming language, so this is a function you've made. You cannot call this function unless you actually write the function name somewhere as a caller. But here you do not need this. You just need to write the function, and inside the main function means it is actually what we are gonna get on the screen. That means this is the area where the execution of the program begins, from there to there. There. Okay, you can add more things instead of just this single line. You can add more statements, more coding, and more programming in this area. And whatever you add in this area, the main area, that things will automatically run through the compiler, and you would be able to see them any result. Okay, so this is the interesting thing, the fmt.println. The println is a function. One thing you need to know, that whenever you see something with the curly braces or the parentheses, that is a function, the fmt.println parentheses. So this is a function, the println. And why we just added the fmt? Because we have imported the fmt, and we are actually using that fmt here. And because of this point, the period sign, we know that this println is coming from this fmt. So that means it is all connected together. Very simple, but you just need to focus on the logic behind it. The package main picks data from the fmt through importing, and then the data of the importing we are running inside the function, the println, from the fmt. So we're going to use this fmt multiple times, this package fmt multiple times. Now one more thing you need to know, that maybe you have noticed that the p is capital in this println method. So in the Go language, a name is exported if it starts with capital letters. So this is actually exported. It's not from scratch we are making. It is actually we are picking from this main function, and the part of the main function which is called fmt. So the println is coming from fmt ultimately. So the p is capital. That means we are actually exporting it. These are some basic logics you just need to know. In the next video, we will talk about the basic syntax of the Go language. Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we are going to talk about the basic syntax for the Go language. In many programming languages, when you want to terminate any statement or end any statement, you add a semicolon. So this semicolon identifies that now this statement ended. Now if you want to start a new statement, you can add any space and even write something like that. Okay, just showing you as an example. But when we're talking about the Go language, we need to know that we just cannot add the semicolon. We have to go to the next line. So the line break, I mean this thing, pressing the enter key to add a line break, is actually the way to end any statement in the Go language. So ultimately you did it, you added a line break. So now you can add the further coding here. Now you might be thinking that why the function main didn't get break here when we added a line break, because the curly braces always looks for its end, because the curly brace is a pair, from there to there it is something which is connected together, but a single statement without and there is no any curly braces or something which identifies a connection. So here if you add a line break, you ultimately now able to add a new statement. So let me try this. Print ln second hello world. Okay, save it. Now I'm going to the here, and I am simply gonna run the terminal, and I'm running the file, and I got some different error anyway. Now I added the right thing. Now just go there and just line break. Okay, another one. Now this should be fine anyway. Now just run this one now. Okay, you can see that the hello world and the second hello world, that means both of them are here, so it is actually working fine. So this is how you just end any statement by adding a line break. Okay, a few things more you need to know. The white space law. So for example, we didn't talk about the variables yet, but let me just draw something. The variables are something you can say a way to store data in the Go language, but we're not gonna talk about the variables specifically by now. Just to mention the white spaces, I'm using the variable. Okay, so I'm adding a var and I'm adding any space, then I'm typing something like val1, now space equals to, now here I'm typing val1 equals to 4. Okay, now val2 equals to 5 plus 8. Okay, they're showing a red line because the Go language thinks I did something wrong, and what wrong I did here is they're just unused. This is a great thing of the Go language anyway, that you just cannot import a thing which you're not using, or you cannot declare a variable if you're not using. So because these things can slow down the process, so for the better coding, it means you just cannot add something unused, and for proper readable documentation, the Go doesn't allow us to just add something which is you're not gonna use or you're not using anyway. So the better way is to comment them. We will talk about the comment later in this video. Anyway, for example, here I have added import fmt, but here I've used the import fmt. But if I just simply delete that, you would notice that here it's gonna be a bug. You can see that now the fmt now became a bug because imported and not used. That means we imported something we're not using, so we should not even import that. So anyway, we have to do like that, and then we are going down, and we have to use that fmt package here again for the print ln, and here first of all we are calling the val1. Now you should notice that it became right, no bug anymore. It was not a kind of real bug, but just the Go language was not allowing us to do so, because the rule is we just cannot do add some unused things. Anyway, there the print ln val2, the if I just go there and if I just run that, you can see that first of all you should see the hello world and the second hello world, then 4 and 14. Okay, now the thing is I have added in a space here, I have added in a space here, I have added in a space here. Okay, if I delete the space here and here and there, so it won't affect the coding. Just go there and check that again. So you would notice that you can see that the 4 and the 14, it is still exactly the same I needed. I can remove this space from here and from there too. So now if I just save it again, I would have the same result again, but I just cannot remove the space from here, because if I just remove the space from here, it won't be a keyword var anymore. I mean, we have to add some spaces at some places. For example, I'm removing this space. Now you can see that the bug, and what's the mean of the bug? We just even didn't define it. It's not unused anymore. We can call it unused even, because this is val2 and this is var val2, but what is the type of this thing? Here we're declaring it as a variable, then we're adding the name of the variable. We are first telling that we want to make a variable, then we are adding a variable name and the value. But here we are not identifying what is this thing, so we're not defining the method. So adding a space, now here this space is actually defining what is this thing, the var, and then a space and then val2. Okay, but unnecessary spaces are not important. Even these unnecessary spaces will be automatically ignored, so whether you add them or don't add them doesn't matter. So I'm removing these spaces, just simple like that. So anyway, you can see that the program is still the same. That means the spaces, the extra spaces ignored. Even these spaces are ignored. You do not need to add these spaces. You can compress the program by this way. But for the code readability, especially for us, because we are just about to learn the Go language, I have added those spaces. You can see that it should be still the same. You can see that still we are getting the same result, but I'm adding these spaces because I'm just teaching the very basics by now. Anyway, what if we need to add something which is unused, but we want that in a document, so we may use that later. So for example, I'm making a variable. This is what we call comment in a programming language, and this is something another we're just talking in a video. For example, I'm making a val3, and the value for the val3 I'm adding as the 89. Okay, cool, but we're not using it. So how we can secure this thing while not using? So all we need to do is to add some comment here. Adding comment in a Go language is pretty simple. You just need to add the slash, and then you have to add the asterisk sign, but be careful, because once you add the slash and the asterisk sign, you can see that everything went green. So where you just want to add the comment, now I just wanted to add the comment here. Okay, so starting tag of the comment and ending tag of the comment, both are very important to identify which area of what code I want to comment. So you can see that this is now commented, and now ultimately this will be ignored by the compiler. Compiler just will not read it. Just go here and just practice this. You would notice it here. You can see that the 4 and 14. If I just remove the signs of the comment, just save it. Now I'm gonna have the bug. because it won't allow us to do that. The val3 declared and not used, so this is something not good for the Go language. So these are the basic logics we need to know, the basic syntax of the Go language. Now there is one very important thing you need to know. There are some keywords, or you can say reserved words for the Go language. For example, the var is a reserved word, so you just cannot use this word for a variable. For example, here I'm typing var, and then I'm using var again equals to 5. This is not a good thing to write the variable name. This is a single word by now, but this is not alone. We have many other reserved words. For example, the func is a reserved word. The import, the package, these are the reserved words anyway. So you can see that here, unexpected var, expecting name, you can see that. However, it is attached, but it won't work because it is not programmatically attached. So we are getting a syntax error. We just cannot use the var because it is a keyword. We can add something like var1. Now it should be okay. Now we would get the error like declared and not used, because now it is actually the var1 is declared. Now we're not calling it var, we're calling it var1. Var1 can be a word, but exactly the same reserved word cannot be used. This is the basic thing you need to know when you're making the values. One more thing you need to know, that the Go language is a case sensitive language. What's the meaning of the case sensitivity? For example, you have made a variable val1. So if you just make a variable here val v is capital, now val2, and here you're adding the value like 9. Now save it. Now I'm just commenting this. Okay. Oh, one more thing. If you want to commit a single line, you can add the double slashes. If you want to commit multiple lines, you can use this slash and asterisk, slash asterisk and slash. So you can use this here too. But if you're commenting a single line, so you just can simply add the double slashes just before the program or the line, till the end of the line. The comment will be applied. But on the other hand, you can add some more actual codes right after the ending tag of the comment. But here you cannot end this unless the line ends. You can just line break it like this one. So anyway, here we're gonna use this one. We're just going here, we're typing fmt.println and val2. Now v is capital by now. I'm going here and I'm just running this now, so we're getting the result. Okay, now first of all, the val1 is 4, so we're getting 4 here. In the val2 is 6 plus 8 equals to 14, and a val2 again, but this val2 has the v capital, so it is 9. So you can see that we are getting the 9 here. If I add the plus 20 or 28, save it. Now I'm going here and I'm gonna have the results anyway. So you would see that here the 14 and the 37, because 28 plus 9 is 37. So you need to know that it is case sensitive. You just cannot go with the v capital and the v small as a one thing. Both are different. There are some more things when we would talk about the variables, we would discuss them, but for now we was only discussing the basic syntax. So in the next lecture we're going to talk about something different. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the data types. While working with any programming language, you have to know the data types. So you would know what you actually need to do. For example, here if you can see the double quotes, okay, but when you just go down and type the same thing almost, but here if you add it without single or double quotes and save it, and if you go there and if you simply you can see that you're actually getting the error right there because it's telling that unexpected world. If in case I go to terminal and if I just run this, you can see that the same error we got here we're getting in the terminal too. Why this is happening? Because this double quotes are indicating that this is in a string and there are no double quotes, so this is supposed to be not any string. If I go down and if I use the same thing again, fmt print ln, and if I just use here 7 plus 9, and if I just save it, and if I just go there and if I just run this, first I think I would get, yeah, I'm getting the error because of it. I'm just making it commented, so now it's not gonna make any error anymore. I'm running the command again. Now it's gonna show us this 16. If I just go there and I just type print ln again, and if I just use 7 plus 9 inside the double quotes, just note what I'm doing here. Okay, now the 16 and the 7 plus 9, what's the meaning and what's the basic difference between them? It is now considering as a string, and this is the integer and this is absolutely the string. Now let me first talk about the string by now, then we would proceed to the next. Any string is a kind of text in the programming language. I mean, wherever you want to add the text which you don't want to subtract, multiply, plus, minus, or anything, divide, I mean any kind of mathematical operation you don't want to perform, so you call that thing as text like this. Ultimately you cannot perform any kind of arithmetical operation on the hello world because this is the text after all, but you can program the variables. We just talked about the variables a very little. Absolutely, we have to talk about it later, but on the variables you don't need, you use the English words, but you don't use the double quotes or single quotes because they are variables. They are not ultimately the text, but this is the integer. Integer are something where you can apply arithmetical operations, but if you use double quotes around the integers, they won't be the integers anymore. They are now they became the string by now. This is the string because it has the double quote. Now it's the number, okay, this is the number and this is the text, but both are strings. I mean a number can be a string after all, okay, and a number can be an integer too. So this is what happening here, the string and the integer. Okay, so I'm just going down and I'm gonna talk about the more data types. fmt dot print, one data type is the boolean is actually cannot be used like this way, but the boolean can be used when we just want two kind of answers. Here I'm going with the comments like this one. Okay, when you want the answer to be true or false, you use boolean. So these are actually called the booleans. When you want the answer as true or as false, you use the boolean. There are more types when we talk about the Go language. The one type is the variables too. So this one is ultimately a type. A variable is the data type which actually has nothing, which is itself nothing, but can store data. Like you can store some kind of data like var1, you can store 5 here. Now the variable has a data type, its own data type is variable, so as its name variable. So now the the value data type is integer. Okay, so this variable will behave like an integer. Just go there and type the str1 and here write something like hello there. Okay, now this variable will behave like an integer. This one will behave like an integer and this one will behave like a string. So why we are getting the red signs? Because we declared the variables and we are not using it, which is actually not a recommended thing in a Go language to have any unused variable anyway. So this is another data type which is variable. Okay, now in the same way we have some words like array data type. I'm just using the comments like this one because we didn't talk about the arrays yet. Anyways, arrays data type, the pointers data types, a lot of data types, but we would talk about them later. In the next lecture we would talk about the integer data types. So we would learn about the integers more in the next lecture. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the integer types. This video is the complete theoretical video, so you just need to know a few facts about the integer types of the Go language. So this is why I'm just describing them here. So the very first integer type is the uint8. U integer means the unsigned integer, and because it is uint8 like this one 8, so this is actually the unsigned 8-bit integer. Again, I need these signs to make it good for us. Okay, this starts from 0 to 255. In the same context, there is another one which is uint16. It is 16-bit unsigned like this one, unsigned 16-bit integer. It starts from 0 and it goes up to 65535 numbered. This is a big digit after all. They're all considered as the integer anyway, but you know the levels. There is another one which is uint32 and it is again the unsigned 32-bit integer, and it starts from 0 to 42949679295. It is a big number anyway. Now it comes to the basic integer. So this is actually, signed integer, and this is called int8, not the uint8. So this is actually the signed integer. It starts from -128 to 127. This is the int8 integer, means the 8-bit integer. Now int16 here, which is again the signed integer. It starts from -32 768 to 32 767. Then if we talk about the int32, so it is again the signed. First I need to add the comments. Signed integer, which starts from -21474833648, and it goes up to 2147483 647. Okay, now in the same direction there is another one which is int 64, and if we go down, it is again something interesting, integer, and it starts from, it's a real big number by the way, 9223367203685477808. okay, and it goes up to 9223367203685477587. okay, so now let's talk about another type of the integer, which is actually the floating points. Now we're talking about the floating points. We will discuss about them too, but by now, actually, what's the difference between a simple integer and the floating point? Floating point is like 5.20. It has the point. Okay, it is just like, decimal number. And an integer is like 5. An integer can be 5, 6, 7, 10, but the floating point can be 5.20, 7.39, like this one. There are multiple kind of the floating points in types, like if you talk about the types, there is the float 32, and it is a 32-bit floating point number. There is float 64, then there is complex 64, and then there is complex 128. These are the floating points. Now if I talk about how we actually can check the value of any number, to check the data type of any integer, all we need is to first make a variable, like I'm making the variable, suppose var3. I'm putting 5 here, and I'm going down and I'm typing fmt.print. I need to press F, and inside the F I'm going to type the var3, the variable. Here I'm adding the comma tn. Now save it. Now we just need to go there, and we need to go to the terminal to check it. So we're gonna have the value, the data type, which is integer. If we actually make another variable, the var4, and equals to, I'm adding 5.34, and if I just duplicate that, simple, and I'm going here, and here I'm just making it var4, save, and now going back there. Now you would notice this is the integer and this is the float 64. This is how we can check the data types and the differences of the data types. So this is how it works. So in the next video we will talk about something more about the Go language. Till then, stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the variables in the Go language. First of all, we need to know what are the variables. The very simple answer for this simple question is, variables are actually something which can store some data of any kind, like you can store some string, you can store some the integers, the floating numbers, or anything like that. You can store any kind of data in the variables. So let's just do something in the variable. First of all, we need to go with the the general way, the package which is main by now. Then we are using the import, and absolutely we're importing the fmt because we are going to use the fmt for the print ln formula. So here the func main parentheses curly braces, and inside the curly braces I'm going to make the variable. I'm creating it with the keyword var. The var keyword is actually the reserved keyword for making a variable. That means you just cannot use the var keyword for making a variable or for using for yourself. It is the reserved word. Okay, now because we're declaring a variable, we just declared that we are actually now declaring the variable. Now let's just put the name of the variable. The variable name can be anything, it's on you, but you just cannot use a reserved word on a variable as a variable name. Like you just cannot use the var as a variable name because it's a reserved word, but you can use the var1. The var1, because we didn't add any space between them, so it is a fine word. So all you need is to just go here and add in space, and now you can add a value. I'm adding a value, I'm adding 3 here. Now line break, and now you can see that we are not using the fmt, so we are having some problem because fmt is important and imported and we are not using it. So now I'm using the fmt.println, and in the parentheses I'm adding the var1. This is what we already know. I'm going to the terminal. First I have to delete what I just programmed. Anyways, I'm going to the terminal, and here go run init go, and here I got the 3. That means the value of this variable, the var1, is 3. Now what more required is I need to go here back, and what more we can do here, because we need to learn a lot about the variables. We just declared a variable. It is a good form. It's a fine variable. Okay, now I'm going down and I'm making another variable, var2. Okay, now here I'm declaring the variable type. I'm declaring it as integer, and here I'm using it the var2 equals to 5. But here we're getting an error. The var2 declared and not used go, or not used in go yet. Absolutely, we didn't use that. Here we did 2 things. We first declared it, and here we just added a value in it. Now let me tell you a few things. Here we're making it a dynamic variable. That means it has no fixed type. It is, if I type 3 here, that means it is integer by now. But if I just add the 3.20, now it became the float 64 as a data type. Let me delete that. Anyways, what if you just want to check the data type of the variable? So first of all, we need to call this, otherwise we're gonna have an error. So I'm going down and writing fmt print ln, and inside this I'm writing var2, so it is now right. Okay, because we were using this variable, we declared it and we added a value and we used it. Now I'm going down and I'm writing fmt again and printf, and inside it I'm just simply gonna do something like var1 type is var1. Okay, I'm going here and I'm writing this, and now I'm gonna get the result. Okay, it's telling the type of var1 is extra int3. Let me just use the simple syntax, and I'm going here and I'm writing this again. Okay, now you can see that the var1 type is int. That means now here we just write this and we just got it here var1 type is, and after the comma we got the var1. That means here is the formula int, it is int. But if you just make it 3.28, save it. Now just go here and just run this, and now you're gonna get something different actually. So you're gonna get that var1 type is float 64. That's absolutely tricky. Okay, now here we declared the data type here, the variable type here. So in the same manner, if I write the fmt.print, oh, there is no space, I need to add the printf, and here var2 type is, t n, adding a comma and var2 and saving. And now I'm going there back and just testing this out. So here you can see that the var1 type is float 64, but var2 type is int. Here we declared it. Now it is a static data type. That means this variable is actually static because we added the value, the data type here, and then we added the value here. But here we didn't mention the data type. Anyway, there is one more thing we should know, that var3, we can do another thing like int, or I'm gonna use the float 64 space, and then here I'm gonna add the value equals to, and I'm typing here 5.89. okay, now we're gonna have the error because we didn't use that, but it is declared. So absolutely I have to use it somewhere. I can use it in this way too, print ln. Okay, print ln var3, and just need to go here after saving that. I just need to go here, and now here we're gonna get multiple things. First of all, the 5.89, the 5, this is 5 and this is 5.89, the var3 is 89 and var1 is 3.28, and the var1 type is float 64, var2 type is integer, var3 type is, we didn't mention the var3 type. Let me just do that too, so you will be actually sure what we're doing. Is t n comma, oh, I used the wrong slash, okay, comma var3, save it. Now I just need to go there back and just need to run that again, and so I'm gonna get the result. The var3 type is float 64. Here we didn't define the type of this one, but we defined the type of this one. So this is a static variable, and this has almost the same value, but it is not the static value variable, it is the dynamic variable, and it has 3.28. you can see that the types of them are float 64, both of them are float 64, but the value is you can see that here, the 3.28, the 5.89, and the 5. So this is how we declare different kind of variables. So there are a few more interesting things I want to talk by now. You can do one more thing, the var space var4. Now you can add a comma, var5, you can add another comma, var6, you can add another comma if you want one more, or if you just want 3 more variables, you can define their data types right now. I'm writing int as their data type. Okay, now I need to add, I'm having an error because we are not using them, but we just made them. Now what more I need to do, I need to go down, so I need to use them somewhere. So I'm just using them, print ln var4. okay, okay, I am using this, but it will be empty because we just declared that we didn't add any value. Let me just do that. You can see that now this is not in the red line, but these ones are. So the fmt.print ln, and here I'm writing var5, and I'm going down fmt.print ln the var6. Now save. Okay, Let's just check the result we're gonna have, because ultimately we're not doing something very good. You can see that the values of the 4, 5, 6 are 0 because we just declared them. We didn't use them yet, but we declared. So you can see the value is just 0 by now. But you can add the value in them later, like the var 4 first and space, and now here I'm adding the value as 9. I'm saving it. Okay, now if I just run this, I'm gonna have it a little changed. The 9, the 5.89, then the 9 is the var 4 because we added the value of 9 with the var 4, which is here. Then the var 5 and then var 6 are there. There is one more very interesting thing I want you to know about the variables. Here I'm declaring some more variables, the var 6 and the var 7, comma var 8, comma var 9. Okay, now I need to add the equal sign. Now, however, I'm not declaring their data types, so because they are dynamic kind of data types, so all of them can have different data types. So let's just do this. The first one I'm making as a string. So instead of typing the string, I'm just making it as a string. I need to put some value for the string. Is I'm writing here the foo, comma, I'm adding another one as a number 8, I'm adding a comma, and I'm typing the bar. Okay, save it. Now we have them and they have different kind of data types. This one is the string, this one is integer, this one is a string again. I'm going just there, fmt.println, and I'm writing here something like var 7. Now we have one of them. Now I'm writing another one, the fmt.println, and here I'm writing var 8, and I'm going down again and fmt.println, and I'm writing var 9 here. Okay, now I need to go there and let's just check this out. Okay, you can see that the foo, 8 and bar, that means this way worked. That means we just did it. Now in the next lecture we're going to talk some more things, but you need to practice a lot for the variables because they're actually very important in your further lectures. We're going to use this thing, the variables, multiple times in future in our course. So stay tuned and goodbye. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the mathematics in the programming languages, specifically the Go language. How interesting it is that if you know the mathematics, and now you're going to apply the mathematics in the programming, in making a program using the Go language. A programming language is actually consists of mathematics, formulas of mathematics, arithmetic, different kind of operators we will have using the mathematics. But the more interesting thing is when it comes to the operators, the mathematical, specifically the arithmetical operators, then we will actually design how the application will work and how it will decide what to do. Yeah, using different kind of conditions, we use the mathematics to program a program to do something specifically at a specific time. Let's just discuss about it. To initiate this thing, we first need to use the fmt println, and like that I'm going here, and inside that I'm writing hello world. Saving it. I need to change this single quote with double quote, and I'm doing that by now. Here, now save it. Now it's all fine. All I need to go there, and absolutely the terminal, and the terminal needs to be loaded, and right there I need to write the go command, go run index.go and line break. Okay, I got the hello world. That's fine. right after that, I'm writing again the fmt and print ln, and inside that I'm actually typing 5. Now, okay, save it. Now I'm going there back and I'm just running this. Okay, I got 5. Perfect. Now, if I just go there and I just write fmt again, print ln, and if I type 5 plus 9, save it. Now I'm going back there and I'm just doing that. Now you can see that this is 14. What's the meaning of 14 here? The 5 plus 9. Now this is the arithmetical operator we have used in this program. In the same logic, if I just go down and if I just write the fmt print ln, and like that I'm typing here 6 minus 5. Now I need to save it and I need to go there and I need to just do this one. Okay, now it is 1. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. Okay, fine. But you know, the algebra, what's the algebra and how we can use the algebra in the programming? Just look at it. If I just make it 5 and I make it 6, now save it. Now I'm going here and I'm just testing this up, and now I'm gonna get the -1. What's the meaning of the -1? In general, you know, because we cannot just subtract the 5 into 6 pieces, so ultimately it is -1. But if you just notice, the 5 has the plus, you know, plus. In algebra we don't write plus. Ultimately every symbol has a plus sign unless we add the minus or subtract sign, minus or, you know, subtract, or the product sign or the divide sign or anything like that. The 6 has the you know, minus sign, so plus minus is minus, so we're gonna actually subtract them. And because 6 is capital, so there with the answer we are adding the 6, the operator which is with 6. So this is how somehow you can see that it is algebraic too. So anyway, this is the very basic operators. There are more operators. I think we should talk about the basic operators you already know. 5 multiplied by 6. Now I'm going here back and I'm just running that. Now you're gonna have the 5 multiplied by 6 equals to 30. Okay, go there back and fmt print ln, and here like that 5 divided by 6. Now I'm just going there back and I'm just running that again, and I'm gonna have the 0 as a result if we divide both of them. Okay, now fmt dot print ln, and I'm going here the 5 modulus 6, save, go here and run this up, and now I'm gonna have the 5 as a result here if I just use this command. Anyway, there are some more interesting things in the programming we might not know, because this is not simply the mathematical thing. If I write 5, but if I add double 2 times actually the plus sign, okay, we are having a bug here. Let me just write a variable. I'm making a variable d and writing 5 here. Now ultimately the variable d is equivalent to 5, so I'm deleting this one, and after deleting that I'm just making a new fmt right here, print ln, and I'm going inside and I'm writing d++ and saving it. Okay, let me do it in a modification way. So I'm just deleting this. I'm just going there and simply d++, save it. Okay, now I'm just going there and you're gonna get something interesting. Just look at it. Here the d was 5 initially. Okay, d became we added the increment sign with the d. The increment operator, actually what it does, it makes any value it actually adds 1 to any value. Like D was 5, it became 6. Okay, it is very simple. Now the D is 6 by now. If you just go there and add another plus increment sign and just go there, and if you just run this up, you should see that now it was because of the incrementation operator, it became 6, and there at line number 24 it became 7, and there when we printed it, it printed the 7 actually. But in the same direction, we have something which we are going to apply to the same D. We can make a new variable too, but we are actually, I think it would be more good if we apply it with the new variable. I'm using the 5 again. Okay, now I'm first of all I'm fmt printing it fmt dot println, and I'm just going inside and I'm just calling it. Now you're gonna see that, and here you can see that it is 5. Okay, cool. Now just go down and I'm just calling the f and subtract sign 2 times, which is actually the decrement operator. Just go there, fmt println, and I'm going inside and I'm just writing f again and saving it, and I'm just going there and I'm just running this up, and now you're gonna see that it is 4. Okay, now I'm here adding another decrement operator with the f, and just writing f again and just going there and just running this up, and now you're gonna see that, come on, here it is 3 by now. Now what if we apply the plus signs, the increment operator with the f? Let me do that, the plus sign, and here fmt.println spelling, and I'm just going inside and I'm just writing f again. You can see that we're just printing the f, and I'm just going there and just test this out, and now it is 4 again. And if I just write the plus sign and then again the plus sign and then again the plus sign and then save it, and now I'm just going here and just test this out, you can see that it became 7 by now. The 3 and the 7, 1 2 3 4 4 plus 3 equal to 7. So now here the 7 is printed. So these are some arithmetic operators. We're gonna discuss some more operators like assignment operators, the comparison operators, etc. in the next few videos. So stay tuned and bye-bye. Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the assignment operators. The very first assignment operator you already know is the one which assigns value to the variable. Like if I type var and I type equal sign and I type 5. Now this is the assignment operator. The very first assignment operator is this one. It's also called a simple assignment operator anyway. Like if you add another variable right now, var2, and you add a value of 7, and you just go down and write var and write var1 equals to var2. So ultimately now the var1 value is equal to the value of var2, means it is 7 by now. So this is just a case. If I just go there, it's telling me that declared in this block previously declaration etc. Oh, actually I should not do this thing. Now it is better. Anyway, this is how it works. So we just assigned the value of var2 to the var1 using the assignment operator. There are some more things. Let's just check this out. The value of the var1 by now. I'm just going to the terminal. Come on, here is the terminal, I'm clicking on the terminal, and right now I'm just running the file. You can see that the value is 7. Okay, now if I just go down, because I'm gonna learn about some more operators, the assignment operators by now. So I'm writing var1 space. Now what if I want to add some more value? I mean, instead of completely modifying, I want to add 2 or 3 digits. I want to add the value 3 to the value 7. So if I add 3 with this 7, it should be 10. So I don't want to do something like this one, no, but I want to add actually 3. And how I can do that? There is a simple way. I can do var1 plus 3, save it. Now actually I'm giving var1 a new value. I'm actually assigning var1 again to the var1, but this time I'm actually adding the 3 to the var1. Now right after that I'm writing fmt.println, and here I'm printing the var1. I'm going there and I'm just running this, and now you're gonna see that now it is 10. You can see that the 7th because of this one, and this is 10. So you can see that it's working fine, but it's a little lengthier process. This process can be a little simple. Let me just tell you how. All you need is, first of all, make it the commented, and I'm just going there and I'm writing var1 space plus an equal to sign and a space, and now just write 3. And if I just go there and if I just run that again, you would see the same value, the 7, because of this one. If I just make it committed, so save it. I do not like these things. Anyway, now you should get only 10 because of this thing. Now what's happening here? This operator is add and assign operator. Now we are not only assigning this 3 to the var1, we are doing it add and assign. So first we are adding the value 3 and then we are assigning it. Okay, so it's actually appending the value of the var1 and adding some new perks in it. So now it became the 10 and it printed here. Once we just called it the fmt.println. So in the same way, there are some more operators. What if I just want to subtract some value? All I need is to go here and write var1, and I can do this way. This way. Now var1 minus 3 or minus 4 by now. Just go down and I'm just writing fmt.println in here. I'm writing var1 and I'm just making it print again, and now I'm just going there. It was 10, till the line number 15 it was 10, and then here I'm just running. Okay, now it's 6 because it was 10. So now we just subtracted 4 from the 10th, so it became 6. But this is again the lengthier way. Let's just go with the easier one. I'm writing var1 in this way, n equals 2, and I'm writing minus subtract sign and the 4. Save it. Now okay, this should be here. Save it. Now I need to go here and I need to test this again, and now you're gonna see that we got the same result here, the 6. That means it's actually working fine. There are some more operators in the same way. We're gonna discuss them, and right after that I'm just gonna call them like the var1. Now if I just want to multiply some value while having this value, it was 6 by line number 21, and at line number 23 I'm doing something new. So the product sign, it should be here, product sign, n equal to sign, any space, and I'm just typing 3. So 6 multiply by 3, and I'm just going here and fmt.print ln, and here I'm writing var1 again and saving it. I'm going there and I'm just running this up, and now 6 multiplied by 3 equal to 18. So I got it. So this is the multiply and assign operator. In the same direction, we have something more. Let's just do that too. The var1. Now here we're dividing it, and I'm dividing it with 5, and I'm just going down in fmt.print ln. In here I'm writing var1 and saving. Now at line number 25 it was 18. Now we are dividing 18 with 5. Let's just go there and just test this up, and now it became 3. If you divide 18 with 5, it became 3. Okay, now in the same direction I'm just going down and I'm writing var1, and I'm here using the modulus sign equal to, I'm writing 4 here, fmt.print ln. now it is 3, remember that, the var1 and save, and now going here and just running this up. The modulus answer is again 3. Anyway, it is working fine, so it's all good. In the next video we will talk about some different operators like the conditional operators or the comparison operators. So stay tuned and goodbye. Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about the comparison operators, but to learn the comparison operators, first we need to learn about the if and else statements, the decision making statements, because the comparison operators actually works with the decision making statements. So I'm not gonna actually discuss in detail with the decision making statements by now. Just to let you know how the comparison operator works, I'm just gonna introduce you the if statement by now. Anyway, this is how it works. First you need to add the if command and the parentheses and the curly braces. Here in its parentheses you add the condition for the statement, and here you add the block of code which will run on the certain condition. For example, I'm just adding here fmt.print ln, and here I'm typing something like hello world, and here you add the condition like you can add something like 5 is equals to or less than 6. Okay, here you've added a condition. Now you just learned a new thing. This is the comparison operator. This is just an example. There are many other comparison operators just like that. This is the less than sign, and it is telling that the 5 is less than 6. If this is a true condition, this block of code will be printed. Let's just go there and just check this out if it is actually true. Okay, I got the hello world. That means it's actually working. So we are going in the right direction. Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the comparison operators, which are also called relational operators in the Go language. In generally we call them comparison operators anyway. So what are the comparison operators? We actually make a condition by comparing two operands or two different kind of data. we can even use the text, we can use the numbers. Mainly it works with the arithmetical numbers, or you can say the integers or floating numbers. Let's just do this by here. And because of the comparison operators, or you can say the relational operators according to the Go language, we actually learned the if and else program because of this. So let me just do some of it. First of all, we're getting this notifications. I'm gonna cancel all them. Okay, so here in this way I'm going here. Okay, and that again, come back here. I'm going just here. Okay, so here first of all I'm adding a condition. So what condition I'm just adding here can be like 6. Okay, now there are many different relational operators. We are calling them relational operators specifically because we are talking about the Go language mainly here. So the 6 equals to 6. Now interesting thing is, this is not an equal sign or equal. Actually this is an equal sign, but this is not the equal operator in any programming language, or specifically the Go language anyway. Okay, this is called the assigning operator spelling. Okay, let me just go here. Right, and this is an equal to operator. Interesting. Now if you say 6 equal to 6 or 5, now we are actually assigning 5 to 6, but we cannot do this because the 6 is a number, it's not a variable. So we use the assigning operator or the equal sign to assign data to the variables, like var1 equal to 6, and now here var, or just calling var1 and equal to 9. Now we are modifying the value. Just delete that. Okay, awesome. Now we are just modifying the value. The var1 was 6, and now here we just assigned the value of 9. Okay, but if we just go here in this way, so now we are not assigning, we are asking if these are equal to each other, and ultimately we are actually gonna get the answer as false, because the var1 is not equal to 10. And how we can actually test this thing? We just need to go here. Oh, actually we need to go there. I'm deleting these things, or at least these things, and I'm just going here, just cutting that and pasting it a little higher so it won't move. And here, if 6 is equal to 6, then fmt.println, and here inside that I'm writing something like hello, or something like the statement is okay. Save it. Now just go here and run this up and just test if it's fine. Okay, we're getting this statement is okay. That's cool. Now what if we do something different, like if I just go here and I type 6 is equal to 8? Oh, that's not true at all. So what the answer we're gonna get here, it should be inside the statement is, I'm typing okay again anyway, but here just notice, okay, we're getting this statement is okay one time, or just to differentiate them, 1, and here I'm writing 2. Now go there back, just run this up, and now you're gonna see that the statement is okay 1, only what 1 is printed here. The 2 is still there. That means it's not printed because it is wrong. Okay. So what do we do in this case? I need to go here and I need to write again something like that. But for now, I'm going to change the operator. If I want to put the wrong value, by intention, I want to add the wrong value, like this one and this one. Okay, 6 is not equal to 9, but I want it to be true. That means I want this statement to be true, so I need to change the operator. Okay, I'm changing it to the not equal to. Okay, this is exclamatory sign and the equal sign makes the not equal to operator. Literally, if I just go here and let me add it in a list, this is not equal to operator. Okay, awesome. Let me just go here and go inside and fmt.println, and here I'm writing the statement is okay, and it's number 3. Just go there back and test this up, and now here you can see that the statement is okay 1, this statement is okay 3, but this statement is okay is 2 is still not okay. So what is the meaning actually? This operator means not equal to. So ultimately this whole condition, this whole condition is true because we're telling if just start reading from here according to the operator, we're telling us that if 6 is not equal to 9, then print this. Okay, so because 6 is not equal to 9, so according to this operator not equal to, the statement is true. So to get this block, we need to get the statement must be true. We will discuss about the if and else statements, specifically the if statement later, so no problem. We are actually talking about the operators by now. So I hope you just got cleared the concept of the not equal to. So in the same way, we are just going to learn some other comparison or the relational operators in the Go language. So here I'm asking if the 6 is less than, this is the less than sign. Okay, we're asking if the 6 is less than 7. Okay, so just go here and I'm writing fmt.println and just go inside the statement 4 is okay. Okay, let's just test this out. I'm just going here and let's just run it, and now you can see that the statement is okay 1, the statement is okay 3, the statement 4 is okay, but still the 2 is not okay. But what if we I'm just doing a wrong thing by now. Here the 6 is, or if I type the 7 is less than 6. Now what gonna happen here? The print ln, and I'm going inside the statement 5 is okay and save it again, and just going here and just running this up again, and now you can see that the statement 4 is okay, but still you're not getting this statement 5 is okay. Okay, because this 7 is not less than 6. So in this case we need to use the greater than sign. So I'm just going to use the greater than sign. Okay, now the greater than sign means the closed mouth, the open mouth is on the left side, and the closed mouth is on the right side. It is a greater than sign. So now 7 is greater than the 6. So now it should work. If I just go here and if I just try to run this up, and now you're gonna see that the statement 5 is okay. Okay, now one more very basic logic. If you maybe you can forget this thing, that which is the less than and the greater than sign, but it is very easy. Where you see 2 points, that value, if that value is big, then the statement must be true. Just focus here. Okay, the 2 points of this array, this arrow, you see the 2 points, which is actually the open mouth. The open mouth is on a 7. If the open mouth is where the value is bigger, then a statement is true. And see here, the same thing, 7 is on a left side. Now here it was on a right side, but the open mouth is on a left side too. Okay, so this statement is true. So I think this is now cool. Now if I just do one more thing right here, if what if I write something like 7 greater than 7? Oh, that's tricky. Let's just see what the answer we're gonna get. Print ln, and inside that I'm writing the statement 6 is okay. Save it. Now I need to go here and just check if it's fine. Okay, we're not getting the statement 6. Now let's just try to make it the greater than sign instead of the less than sign. Save it. Now now we've used the greater than sign, so I'm going there back, and now I'm running it, and now it's still we're not gonna get the statement 6 is okay, because it's not okay in both cases. So what is the solution? They're not greater than each other, they're not less than each other, they're equal to each other. So you can use this sign. Okay, this sign. Okay, what's the meaning of this? It is telling that if the 7 is greater than or equal to 7, here we are adding two kind of values. If 7 is greater than or equal to 7, I think it's pretty simple. Just go here, it's absolutely equal to 7, so we're gonna get the statement 6 is okay. And in the same direction, if I just go here and I write if I'm just going here, I'm writing 6. Now I'm using the less than sign. If 6 is less than, here we talked about the greater than or equal to. Here we're telling if 6 is less than or equal to 7, here are still a few things you need to know. I'm gonna talk about them too. Statement 7 is okay. Save it. Now I need to go here, I need to run that up. Now the statement 7 is okay because the 6 is less than or equal to 6, but the 6 is less than or equal to what? Equal to 6. But what if I just go here and make something new? Let me just write it. 6 is less than or equal to 8. Oh, this is now tricky again. Print ln, and I'm writing here the spelling. Statement 8 is okay. Save it. Now I need to go here and run this up. Go run in Xcode. Okay, the statement 8 is okay. Okay, now because the 6 is less than 8, okay, it's not equal to. Now we have two kind of conditions here, because it's supposedly one operator which actually pose two kind of conditions. And we have to be true in either one condition. So here you can see that the 6 is not equal to 8, but 6 is less than 8. What if I just use the greater than sign? Now if I just go here and I run this, and now I'm not gonna get the 8 is okay anymore, because the 7 is okay is the last one, because the 6 is not greater than 8, ultimately it's less than 8, and 6 is even not equal to 8. So in both conditions, this condition is false according to this operator, which is greater than and equal to. So this is why this block of code is not working. So I think now you're understanding all of the logic of these interesting blocks, the comparison, or the relational operators in the Go language. So in the next video, we're going to talk about some logical operators. They are very interesting. You must know them. But before learning the logical operators, you must need to completely understand the comparison, or actually the relational operators in the Go language. Actually, because of I work on many programming languages, so I normally call the relational operators as the comparison operators because it's a general name. Anyway, in the next video, we'll meet again. Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the logical operators. Logical operators are pretty simple. Actually, what they do is simply you need to have two values. Either of one should be okay, or both should be okay, or both should be negative, something like that. Let me just apply that. Actually, it depends on two kind of comparison operator statements. Let me just do that by now. For example, here what I'm asking that if like that, I'm sick of these things anyway, but let me close that anyway, save it, and here I'm writing if 6 equal to 6. If this statement is true, then this should be shown. Here I'm writing fmt dot println, and like that I'm going inside and I'm writing something. The statement 1 is okay. Okay, fine. Let me just double check here. Oh, come on. Yeah, you can see that they import fmt. Okay, everything is fine. Now what more is required? I just need to go there and run this statement, and absolutely I'm gonna get the statement 1 is okay, because it is absolutely okay. But for example, now it is not okay. Save it. Now go back here and just check this out. So we got that the statement 1 is not okay anymore, because you can see that there is no print of the statement 1 is okay anymore. Now if we want to give it another chance, so we can use the pipes, the two pipes in space now, and write 5 equal to 5 and save it. Okay, now what we are actually doing here, we are actually making two statements. Okay, either of them should be true, this one or this one. Okay, this is actually a kind of logical operator. This is the logical operator, and this is called the or logical operator, like that. Let me just logical operator, OR. Okay, now in this statement, either of them should be true. So this one is true, so we're gonna get something true there. So you can see that the statement is okay, the statement 1 is okay. Okay, now I'm going just there and I'm writing another statement, and I'm going to tell you the reason why these things are important. So here I'm writing 5 equals to 5, and here I'm using this sign. Okay, the end sign. Four is less than 6. Okay, fine. Now fmt print ln, and here the statement 2 is okay. Now save it again, just go here and run this up, and here the statement 1 is okay, the statement 2 is okay. Now both are okay, because it's not the equal to operator statement, but it's ultimately true. The 4 is actually less than 5, 6 actually. So This is fine. Now, what's the difference between these two operators? This is the OR operator, and this one is the AND logical. So what's the basic difference between those? This one is AND. That means around this operand, both of the values must be true. The 5 equal to 5 and the 4 less than 6, both are true. And in this case, any one of the both sides has to be true. So this one, the right one, was true, so it printed this line. But here both are true, so this printed this line. But what if I just go here and if I just write if, now I'm gonna make one wrong here. 5, or let me write 8 greater than 10, and 9 equal to 9, and save it. Now I'm going here, inside this fmt print ln, and here I'm going inside again. Come on. Okay, here I'm writing the statement 3 is okay. Save it. Now just go here, and we should get the statement 3 is okay if this is working. No, it's not working. You can see that it's false. The return of this comparison operator is false. The return of this comparison operator, I mean the equal to sign, is true, and the return of this operator is ultimately false, because the left side of this is wrong and the right side of this is right. So because this is the actual condition, so this is producing false to this overall statement. So because of that, this block of code is not visible. So if I just make both of them true, like if I just do this one and save, and now if I just go here and I just run this up, and now I'm gonna get the statement 1, 2 and 3, all of them are right. Okay, now if I just change the sign of this, remember both of the sides are right by now, but if I just make it like that, now save, now go back there, and if I just run this up again, and now there, all of them are true, because it is okay if any one of the both sides, when we are using this operator, is true, then it is fine. But if both are true, then it's also fine. At least one of the side has to be true. Now if I just use the greater than sign again there in this way, and if I just save this up, and if I just go there, and if I just run this, and now we're gonna get the all of them are true. However, one statement is wrong. But if I just make both of them wrong, like 4 cannot be equal to 9, so let's just check that back, and now we're gonna get the 1 and 2 statement is true only, not the third one. So this is ultimately not true by now, because of this operator needs at least one of the sides has to be true. Okay, so these are the two logical operators. There is one more logical operator which is quite interesting. You're gonna learn that by now. Okay, now 7 is equal to, or let's just change it, is greater than 3. Save it. Now I'm going inside fmt.print ln, and here the statement 4 is okay. Save it, and now here let me just change it. Okay, now I'm gonna go there, and now just gonna run that. Now statement 3 is actually wrong, but statement 4 is okay. It is ultimately okay. But what if I do something quite different? Now I'm actually asking if exclamatory sign, the parentheses, and just cutting this statement off and pasting it inside. Now save it. Now here I'm going to run that, and I'm going to have, okay, you can see that the statement 4 is wrong by now. What's the meaning? Actually, this sign is actually called the not operator. Not. Okay, so what is this producing? This is producing the positive, the true result, okay, the true condition. But we just want it to be not true because we applied this one. Okay, so if it is true, so it became not true. Getting the point? And if it is not true, then ultimately it is false. So this not operator is turning it to the negative, or actually the opposite form. So opposite, to just make it negative, to get the positive, the true one, and make it opposite of the result we're getting here. I'm writing here 7 is less than. It is quite interesting. I know you can be confused for a while, but it is very simple. You just need to know the not operator. Okay, now 7 is less than 3, but absolutely 7 is not less than 3. 7 is bigger than 3. But if I just run this up here, I'm going to get the statement 4 is okay, because here, what if we are telling, what if the 7 and 3 less than 7 is less than 3 is not true. Okay, now this if is actually now depending on this not operator, and this is actually the main operator here, not this one. So this is producing a negative result, which is because of the not operator. It is turning it into the positive result. So now this is making the not statement is making the statement true. So we are telling that it is not true. Yeah, it is not false, something like that. Okay, so we're getting this statement. I think it is pretty simple. You just need to focus more a little if you're actually confusing this statement. Anyway, what are the meanings of these results and why we use the logical or the AND or logical operator? Just to make it sure, I'm just writing something like, I'm just going here at the very top, because the rule is whenever you're making a variable, you should make it at the very top. So I'm making it very top. Right here, the var1 equals to, or let me just do it very true, user. I'm writing John, and I'm going down. Okay, var pass, I'm writing here monkey 321. Oh, I'm not gonna put this space. Okay, fine. Now they're giving us the the red line, because we just made these two variables, but we didn't use that yet. So statement, the script won't work. Actually, this is the limitation, or actually this is a restriction, which is actually good in the Go language. This is not in every programming language, but in a Go language, when you make a variable, you just cannot leave it without using. This is considered as a mistake. Anyway, we just made it. We're gonna use that. Here we are verifying if the user is equals to John, and now we are we need to get both of them true. So here, and the password is equal to John and the monkey 321. Save it. Okay, now we need to remember one thing, that when it comes to the strings, the alphabets, you can say the text, it is case sensitive. If the John was written, just check here, so you would notice the John is written in a small letters, so there all of them must be small letters, otherwise it's gonna ignore that, because the capital John or the capital J John is a different thing, and the small j John is a different thing. and in a password the monkey321. Okay, I've added the same thing there. If I just look at this, the monkey321. Okay, now when we need two statements or the two conditions to be true, okay, we use two conditions with logical and operator, and we need two conditions must be true to show something like, fmt.println, and here you are successfully logged in. So just to make this statement, you are successfully logged in, we need to have both of the conditions to be true. Okay, now just run this up, and now because of the password is okay, so you are successfully logged in. If you put any side wrong, like I'm adding monkey31, it was monkey321, so I'm not gonna get this. You can see that this one is not true by now. So this is here I need to change again now. Okay. Now this is why we use AND operator, and in some cases where we need to have at least one to be true. For example, if user, or here you want to write something like one of the value is true, but we need both to be true. Now in this case we can use the this one, and I can write something like that, and absolutely this is the password is wrong but the user is true, so it's gonna tell us that at least one of the values is true, but we need both of them to be true. Okay, so this is why and how we use this AND and OR operators. So I think we just learned the logical operators and a practical example of this. So in our next video we're going to talk about the the if and else practically, the decision making things of the Go language practically. We just talked about the if not else yet. We just talked about the if because of the comparison operators and the logical operators, but later we're gonna actually talk about the if and else, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about the constant. So what are the constants? Before talking about the constants, we need to know a few more things about the variables. So let's just make a variable. I'm making a var here, var, and I'm making it something like x, and the value I'm adding is 5 or 6, whatever. I'm going down and I'm just using it, fmt print ln, and parentheses. Inside the parentheses I'm just calling the x. I'm going there and I'm running the go run index go, and there I am getting the 6. I got a 6 here because the result was 6. Okay, that's cool. Now if I just go down and I just call x again and add equal sign, and I add something like 10. Now I go down again, fmt print ln, and here I'm calling actually the x again. Now I'm going back, and here I'm just running the command again. Now you just need to see, first it is 6, second it is 10. You can see that there is same variable, the x, we have made it. Here we just called it, then we updated its value, then we called its value again, the x here again. So what is happening here, every programming language starts from the top. So first the compiler just reads it, the x, as 6, and it prints it at line number 9. But when it reaches to the line number 11, it reads that x is actually 10, but it actually clear that at line number 9 it was 6 when we used it at line number 9, but at line number 11 it became 10. So when it goes to the 13th line, and here we're calling the x again, so now the x is 10, not the 6, because it is updated in line number 11. So whenever we call the x before this update, it will be ultimately the print ln x, and you just need to go there and check that again. Here you're gonna get that 6 and 10, 6 and then again 6, because at line number 12, because programming language starts from the top, so the compiler doesn't know that it actually about to be updated at line number 13, so it just printed the x as 6 at line number 12. But when it got updated at line number 13, we are using it print ln and x again. Now we have 2-time calling of x at line number 15 and 16. Now you're gonna get that the 6 and 10. But right after this one, again updating the value of x as 8, or why not make it 89, because let's just make some a little big value anyway. So here now 6, 6, 10 and 89. So when we update the variable, then after that, whenever we use that variable, we will get the updated data. Okay, that's cool, but let's just make the constant by now. Now let's talk about the constant. Actually, a constant cannot be modified later. For example, to make a constant, you need to type const and add in space, just like we did with the x here. Just do the same almost, and I'm adding the value 12. Okay, now I'm going down. I'm doing everything I did with the variable. I do not need to call the x anymore. I'm going here and I'm just running the code, and now the code is it's actually, you can see that the 6, 6, 10, 89 and 12. This was 89 and this is 12. Well, one thing I just want to clear, that even we have made the constant here, we still can use the x. We can use any variable or constant throughout the script, but we just cannot use any constant or variable just before the making of them. I'm gonna demonstrate what I'm just telling, but by now I just wanted to show you this. Yeah, the 89, then 12, then again 89, because the x is actually 89 by line number 17. So after that, whenever we call the x, we're gonna get the 18, so we're 89, so we're getting the 89. Now we need to know that if we just do this by going here and fmt.println, and here I'm calling the x again, so you can see that undefined x. Wow, we just defined it here. Then why it is undefined? Because the compiler, the programming language starts from the top, so first it reads that the function. Now programming language, or actually the compiler, knows that in the Go language we are inside the function, which is main function, and the very first thing it reads is the fmt println. Whoa, we are gonna print something, but right after that, when it reads the x, it knows that there is no x. It only reads these lines, so it stuck here, because the x is not anywhere in these lines. For reading the x, it needs to go down, but the compiler has no eyes, so because it doesn't read the next lines, so according to the compiler, it is an error. If I just go here and if I just run this, the command line arguments, undefined x, if I just call this right here, and if I just run this again, and now you're gonna here the triple times 6 and then 10, 89, 12 and 89. Now let's just play with the constant. Now I am just updating the constant here, because y is a constant, not a variable. So I'm just updating the value of the y up to 45. Now you can see that cannot assign to y. Why we cannot assign this? Because it's a constant. If I just try to print it again, even the script won't work because we did a big mistake here. The y, I'm calling the y here. I'm just running this. You can see that at line number 27 and the number 4, you can see that here cannot assign to y. Okay, so now this is how it works, and this is why the constant is different from the variable, that you just cannot modify the value of the constant. A few things you should know whenever you're making a variable. Here we're testing it, but when you're making variables or constant, because we can use any variable anywhere in a screen, so unless we actually need to create a new variable inside the script, just put that variable at the very top. So it'll make the script more cool and more efficient. Now you're not gonna have any error. So in case you just thought you just need to make the variable x here, and you just need to make the variable here, but then you realize that you need to use that x variable there. So what you will do, maybe you can forget that. So whenever you're creating a variable, you should create that at the very top. But absolutely, when you're modifying the data of the variable, again, you just cannot modify the data of the the constant, so it doesn't work. But when you're modifying the variable's data, so it has to be at the place from where you want to start the modification, or you want the to use the modified version of the variables. Suppose if I just added the 16th at the line number 16, I just updated the value of the x, but at the line number 15 I should get the result of this x as 6, but after the line number 16 I should get the result as 10. So if I just pick this up and just paste it here, right here, and if I just go here and if I just run this, I'm gonna get something different. The 10 10 10 and 10 and 10, and then 89 and 12 and 12, because I just added the modified version of the x at the very top. So for the modified version or the modified x or any variable, we should remember from where we need the modification. So this is how it works. Also, one more thing, let's just clarify if you have the question too. Now I'm making it back to 6. It was 6, made it 10, and just made it back the 6 again. I'm just going here and just printing it out. Okay, and here the 6 6 and 10, and again 6, then 89, then 12, then 89 and 12. But this looks so manual. Let's just do something interesting. I'm going here and I'm assigning the value of x to any other variable. Let's just make a new variable. I'm making a variable z. I'm going down and I am just making it integer, and here I'm not using it by now. So the value of z is equal to the value of x. It is quite interesting. If you just noticed, it is giving an error, then why it is actually counting the z as an error? Because we didn't just use this. Again, the same thing, because the z is declared here and we added the value even, but we are not using it yet. So I'm just using the z right after the very last update of the x. fmt.println, in here I'm using the z here. Save it. Now there is no error anymore. If I just go here and I'm just printing it out, Okay, now you can see that this one is right before the first 89. There, this one is the first 89. It is 6, this one is 6. Just to detect the right value, not to confuse, I'm just doing it the Z here. Save it. Now just run this again and you're gonna get the actual Z place. Yeah, the Z here. Now this 6. Okay, now we just used this one right after declaring, right after actually modifying the value of X, but you can see that it's 6 still. Now if you want to just make the X back to the original form, because we added the actual value of X to the Z, so right here what I just need to do this thing what I just did. Now here I have declared the X and given the value 6, then declared the Z and given the value, actually given X. Now ultimately the value of X, now the value of Z. Okay, now here the X became 10, then 6, then 89, then here, because I know that Z is actually now have the value of X, so the Z has 6 or whatever number this will have. So I just actually modified the X again and added the value of Z, added Z here. So ultimately the Z's value is now added to the X. So as you know, the Z has the original value of X, so now the original value of X is assigned to X again. Just make it 7,000 or the random number. Now this is actually programming. We're not giving the value manually here. We are assigning the original value of X to X. So this is what we are doing here. It is quite simple. Anyway, I'm just going here and just running this up, and now you're gonna see that the original value was 7547. Now it's 7547, and then again the 7547, because after assigning the Z, the original value of X to the X, we're calling the X again. So I think you just now know how it works. So in the next lecture we're going to talk about the different operators, the arithmetic operators, the assigning operators, because now we're going to use the operators in the programming.